Hi everyone, welcome back to dubventures. Now today's video we're going to give you 25 of our top tips about van life. But before we do that, I just want you guys just to take a minute. I just want you guys just to have a quick think about something. In your lifetime, you spend an average of 26 years sleeping, about 7 years trying to get to sleep, 1 year in complete time at school, around about 13 years working. You spend about 11 years watching TV, 4 years eating, 1 year exercising, 1 year queuing up for things. Now, just those simple things where you're always active, that adds up to 64 years already. That's not even including like things like cleaning, cooking, having a family, you know, and sitting around saying to yourself, one day I will do this and one day I will do that. That doesn't even include the time where you sat there thinking, do you know what, I'm really concerned about like what other people think about this and worrying about things. Guys, life is short. Just looking at those statistics there, when I read it, I was quite shocked. What I'm saying to you is, you don't have a lot of time on this earth to do things you actually want to do. If you're thinking about getting into van life, do it, because you know what, life is short. So right, let's get this video started. Let's be positive. If it's something you're thinking about doing, get on with it. No more messing about. Van life is for you. Get out and about and live your life. Right, 25 top tips about van life. Right, so tip 25. You need to have a real good think about what type of van you want. Because if you want a van that's got like a high top or a pop top for reasons, you know, that you can stand up when you're cooking and things, that's going to really restrict places that you can go to. Now, if you like being in the country, being away from places and things like that, going to little like hidey places, if there's trees there and like restrictions and height things, if you've got a high top or a pop top, are you going to be able to like sneak in under those trees and through the forest and everything to get to that beach point view that you want? So have a good think. What type of van do you want? And that brings me on to tip 24. You need to know, do you want an older retro style van, if that's the style that you want to go for, or a newer van? But what you need to understand is if you go for the retro van, the chances are if you're not mechanically minded and you don't know how to be hands-on with that type of vehicle, it's going to cause you a lot of problems in the long run. Because older vehicles, generally the retro old Volkswagen buses, you know, they break down a lot, you know what I mean? So you need to like obviously figure it out for yourself what type of van you want. If you're going to be doing a lot of mileage, you need to be thinking about going for a newer van. Tip 23. If you've got a van and it's got no windows in it, as in the back of the van, sort of like where your sleeping, you know, compartment is, your cooking, you know, compartment, basically your living space. If it's got no windows in the van, you really need to consider getting some windows put into the van, because you don't want to be out with beautiful views and things like that and feeling like claustrophobic, you know, and things like that. You know, you want to like let some like light in and some air, you know, you want to be able to wake up in the morning, open the blinds, look out and go, wow, look at that view. Now, yes, having a van with no windows is fantastic for stealth camping, but again, you need to like work out what is it that you're actually wanting to do with van life. Number 22, get the layout of the van that you want for you personally. Don't get a layout out of a van because it's cool or it's what everybody else is doing. Our van, we've got a full-size rock and roll bed in the back. Yeah, we don't have units down the side and everything, you know, and it looks quite basic. But guess what? When we go to places, the van is only for sleeping in. When we go somewhere, we're not going somewhere to stay in the van and sit there and just go, yeah, this is what van life's about. No, we're going to places to get out, explore, and get about and everything. We wanted a full-size rock and roll bed so that we could be comfortable at night time when we're sat down, lay down, relaxing and everything. So get the layout that suits you, not what looks cool and what you think you should have. Work it out and find out what it is you want from your van. Right, we're on to tip 21 now, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get out and about because it's a beautiful day today. So I'm going to get out and about, go for a walk, and then catch up with you and tell you what the next one is. Alright guys, we've come out for a bit of a walk around. So, tip 21, get a fridge or a cool box or something that you can easily plug into your van if you don't have, you know, a proper fitted van or anything. Just go around here, because it will save you so much money in the long term, because you can get like 3 days worth of food at least put into like a cool box or something. So definitely a good tip. Tip 20, if you can, get a leisure battery, because the amount of things that you'll be able to do with it, you know, you'll be able to charge it like your everyday items up and things like that. It will just make your van life experience a lot easier. Tip number 19, when you go camping, or you know, when you go like on an overnight trip, only take the essentials that you need. You know, when me and Brooke do our trips, we only like take like basics, like, you know, one knife and fork each, one plate each, one cup each, because it's really easy to get everything cluttered. So only take one item, well, of each thing that you need, not just one item. Tip number 18, check the weather before you go anywhere, because so many times we've been on a camping trip and we've took like clothes that were not suitable. I've been on a camping trip before where it's absolutely chucked it down the day after, and I've not had my waterproof coat, and then when we're taking our dog Thor out and things like that, get absolutely soaked. So make sure you check the weather and pack accordingly. You know what, guys, it's absolutely beautiful here. You know, I've come for a walk in the countryside, you know, to do this video, and just I absolutely love it. I mean, just look at the views that we've got like all around us. Love it, love the peace and quiet. Right, tip number 17, take a first aid kit with you. I'm telling you now through experience, if you're on a camping trip and you're out and about somewhere and you don't have access to get something as simple as a plaster, and you cut your finger, just like a little like slice in your finger, every time you touch something it's going to sting, it's going to hurt and things like that. So believe it or not, even just taking plasters just as a bare minimum can be such like you know, a thankful thing that you'll do. So, you know, even if it's just a basic one, just take a basic first aid kit with you. And number 16, talking of kits, take a basic toolkit with you. Basic spanner set, basic screwdriver set. You'll be surprised how, like, you know, little tiny things you know, that require the simplest of tools can help you out. Quick example is we was on a camping trip once, I think it was in Scotland, and our rock and roll bed wouldn't lock into the locking position, and all I had to do was simply adjust like a rod that was like going in and out of the actual locking mechanism, and it just needed adjusting slightly. And if I didn't have a spanner that fitted that nut to do it, we wouldn't have been able to lock the bed in the bed position. You know, it would have been a case of you need to go home if you can't get the tools. So yeah, take a basic toolkit with you. Number 15, getting onto your pet pooch or your pet cat or whatever pet that you've got that you take on your camping holidays with you. Now, one thing that we did, we had an idea a long time ago when we went on one of our first camping trips. If you've got an old onesie, whether it's your old SpongeBob one or your old Cookie Monster one, everybody's got an old onesie they don't wear anymore. If you vacuum pack it in one of these like vacuum pack bags, so it's like really tightly compact and everything, what you can do is you can take that with you on a camping trip. And then if your dog or whatever pet you've got ends up jumping in a river or ends up in like a big muddy mess and things like that, you can just pull that out, open it, take the onesie out, and then you can basically just put your dog in the middle of the onesie, fold it over and everything, give your dog a really, really good scrub and get it clean. And then it doesn't matter if the onesie's ruined or anything, you can just bin it, because it's good to have something like that as an emergency. And believe me, we have been in that situation where we needed that, because Thor, our little pet Westie, he ended up in a big muddy puddle, if you like, and we had to like clean him, and we was in the middle of nowhere. If we didn't have nothing like that, we would have been like trying to use little baby wipes and everything. But so that's a really good tip, guys. Get one of your old onesies, vacuum pack it and put it to the side for emergency use only. Now, tip number 14, speaking about your pets, make sure you take some type of pet first aid kit with you as well. Again, you don't want to be in like in the middle of the countryside like this or something, and then what happens is, you know, your dog like, you know, stands on like something like that goes into his paw or something. If you've not got any tweezers or anything that you can't pull it out with, you know, you want to definitely take like a tick remover tool as well. Just take some like basic things that, you know, if your pet pooch is like needs some first aid, then, you know, at least you've got something there as well. And on to tip number 13, again to do with your dog. Take some old socks with you, because if your dog is out and about and it cuts his paw or her paw or something, and the paw's bleeding and stuff, you know, if you're out on a walk somewhere and the paw's bleeding, you know, you want to like protect it and you know do what you can. Well, if you've got an old sock, what you can do is you can put the old sock on your dog's paw, and you know, if you can tie it up and everything, at least your dog's got some type of protection just as like a temporary measure before you get back to the van, and then you know you can like use some like first aid items that you've got for that. Tip number 12, again staying with your dog. If you've got one of them old protein shakers, I'll put a picture on here. They're really cheap, you know, you can just go and buy one. You can get one for £1, you know, in some places. And what you can do with them is basically, if your dog's paw needs washing, or again, you know, if he's cut his paw or something, he's been out walking about, you can fill one of them up with water, actually get the dog's paw and actually dip it into the protein cup shaker, and then at least you can give it a scrub, and if there's water in there you can sort of like dip your dog's paw in and out of it and everything, and it's a fantastic way for you to be able to clean your dog's paws. And fellas, you know for a fact that as well you can also use it to go and build sandcastles on the beach with as well. I've not done that, honest. Tip number 11, yet again another one for your pet pooch or your pet cat or whatever pet that you've got with you. Every single night before you go to bed, give your pet a good thorough examination, checking their ears, you know, check their paws underneath, check through their fur, checking their mouth, check their nose, check everything. Just give them a check over, because if you've been out camping, you know, and again you're in the country and stuff, your dog or cat or whatever's been sniffing about, been having a good like mooch around and everything, getting into everything, the chances are, you know, they could have like a twig in their ear, just, you know, as an example. The thing is, if you just leave that and it works its way further and further and further in, it could be anything. You know, that again, if you're in the middle of nowhere, if you're in the middle of Scotland and you find out that your dog's like got like an issue with its ear or something, and you know, you're like, oh, you don't know what it is, it could be that for a couple of days that issue has been, you know, like continuing to happen because you didn't spot something. So every single night before you go to bed, make it essential that you give your animal a good examination before you go to bed. Tip number 10, you need to be flexible in your approach with van life. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, so let's just say, for argument's sake, you're travelling all the way to Scotland, you've heard about this fantastic wild camping spot that, you know, everybody raves about, you know, your friends have told you about it, they've spent like, you know, some fantastic nights there and things like that. So you travel hundreds of miles, get all the way up to this wild camping spot that you've got your heart set on. You get there and someone's already beat you to it. Well, if you're not flexible in your approach, what are you going to do? Because you can't panic, you could be in the middle of nowhere. So what you need to do is you need to understand that when you go somewhere, your plans can change, because, you know, even if you're staying in a campsite, if you've not booked it or anything, you might get there, it might be full and things like that. So you need to have like a sort of like an easygoing, flexible attitude, if you like, just to basically be able to change your plans at any minute. So be flexible in your approach. Tip number 9, you know, a bit similar to like tip number 10. You need to do your research on the area that you're going to stay at, because there could be different laws, like, you know, there's different laws from England to Scotland to Wales, you know, especially in Europe, if that's where you're traveling to, and anywhere in the world. All areas have different laws and things. So if you are going somewhere, you know, maybe you're wild camping, do research on that area where you're going to, and make sure you understand the laws and things like that about, you know, your van life approach to sort of like camping there and things. Tip 7, before you go on your camper van trip and to enjoy your van life experience, stock up on the food that you're actually, you know, going to take with you. Don't buy the food on the road. We've made that mistake before, where we just basically, each meal that we was eating, every supermarket, every like fast food place and things like that, we was pulling into and we're just buying something. It's really expensive doing that. And plus, again, when you get to the Highlands or when you get to the middle of nowhere and things like that and you're parked up, excuse me, you don't want to run out of food, because if you run out of food, what you're going to do is you're just going to end up eating a lot of junk food, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to just be snacking away and things like that. So before you go on whatever trip you're going on, work it out how many days you're going for and stock up on the food that you need. Tip number 6, buy some of the battery charger packs. Now, we've got some of them, and again, they've come in so handy. It's like today, I've got a charger pack in my pocket, I'm walking about and everything. If the battery was to go on this, you know, I'm in the middle of nowhere, I'm in the country. And if I've got no spare batteries and things like that for my phone, for my camera, whatever it is that you're doing, you know, you could be like out and about in the middle of nowhere and sort of like be using your GPS or your sat nav, you know, to get about and things to see where you're going. If the battery runs out on that, then it could bring a lot of problems. So you know, you can get like really small ones that are really powerful. Buy some charger battery packs and just like put them in your pocket, put them in your bag and things like that. And when you go places, take them with you. Right, we're down to the last 5 van life tips that, in our experience, that, you know, we can give you guys, and hopefully, you know, they can sort of like help you along the way. You know, if you're new to van life, or, you know, if it's not something, you know, some of the ideas, it's not something that you've thought about before and things like that. But what I'm going to do is, I mean, as you can see, the area that I'm in at the moment, I mean, it's beautiful. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go for a little walk around about. Brooke, if you're new to the channel, is on night shift at the moment, so I've come out, you know, and told Brooke earlier I'm going to go for a walk and things, and, you know, do a video for you guys. But what I'm going to do is, the last 5 tips, I'm going to wait till I get home, and then if you are new to the channel, I can introduce you to Brooke, and I can introduce you to Thor, our little fur baby, our little Westie. So yeah, I'm just going to go for a bit of a walk around, so I'll see you guys when I get home. I'm home now, sort of like about 2 or 3 hours later, because I actually ended up, just been telling Brooke, went through all the edge on the way home and spotted some supercars, and being big supercar fans, you know, I had to sort of like watch some of them. I put a little clip here.
Hi guys, if you're new to the channel, I'm Brooke. Obviously Tom's been out and about today because I'm on night, so I've just got up, so morning. He's been telling me that he's been doing a video of 50?
50?
How many?
25.
25 van life tips. So.
And we're down to the last 5. We're counting down the top 5 now. So the 5th one.
The 5th tip, obviously he's just filled me in with this because I've just woke up. So the 5th tip is, if you don't have any toilet facilities, just
in your van.
Oh, yeah, I'm missing things out here, aren't I?
Yeah, you're just kind of like rushing straight to it.
Sorry, so the 5th tip is, if you don't have any toilet facilities, get some.
Yes.
I'm only joking.
Right.
All seriousness.
Come on.
Tip number 5 was toilet facilities.
If you don't have any
toilet facilities in your van, then there's little cheap things you can get, like bottles, there's collapsible like commode things, and then there's portable loos that you can get that are quite cheap, that are like a bucket with a toilet seat on it. So there is lots of options, or if you're a guy, you could just use a bottle.
Yeah, that's true. Right, so tip number 4, after we managed to get through that, when you get to your camping place or your well camping or whatever it is that you're doing, you need to be organised. Now what I mean by that is, we have our own specific jobs. For example, I do the cooking, Brooke like sets the bed up, I take Thor for a walk.
You do the cooking?
Yeah, I take Thor for a walk to do the cooking.
I said, do you do the cooking? Yeah.
I do the cooking in the van,
yeah.
From scratch, yeah, in the van, and we'll prove that to you, because we're going to have some videos coming up of some cooking videos. Yeah, you do the cooking at home, we'll talk about it in the van. But anyway, so no, but seriously, like we have like things.
Set jobs. So
we have set jobs.
I do the bed because otherwise he just throws it on and it's uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, so and Thor does the eating.
Yeah. So does he? Come here.
Come here. No, he's barking. But yeah,
Oh, he's stuck on a tree.
you go and sort. All right. So yeah, have your own specific jobs like laid out and everything. And when you get there, you just get on with it. It's like I do this, Brooke does that, you know, and it just makes it like organised and a lot easier to like get on with things. Whoa, that's Thor. Tip number 3 for good van life essential living is be completely clean in the van. And what I mean by that is, no, I mean like keep the van tidy. If you use something, put it back. If you eat off a plate, wash it, put it back. Do whatever it needs to be done to keep that van clean and tidy, because it makes things a lot easier to deal with, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, but what do you think, Donna? Yeah. Right, on Brick.
What's tip number 2, Thora?
Tip number 2.
Be an adult, unlike some people.
Okay, explain be an adult.
So, if you're in the van, you're obviously in a confined space, so you're more likely to have little tiffs and little arguments. So instead of having a paddy about it and being a big kid, you get over it.
Yeah, I mean,
laugh about it, move on.
I mean, yeah, obviously in a confined space when you try to set things. Confined space, trying to set. You know, there's videos going so well when I was out in the country and everything. Get home and then you're like trying to annoy me and everything.
About it now.
So, oh no, you missed out today. I'll take you there sometime. It's a beautiful place in the country. But yeah, no, there is going to be times you're going to argue. You know, oh, you forgot this, or you've not done that,
yeah,
or
you
this.
That time when you forgot the tablet, so I had to watch a film on my phone.
Ooh, I do apologise.
There is a video about that. By the
way.
So very upset about
still not let me forget it. But you know, you are going to.
You managed to get stuck on the rose bush.
Oh, it's stuck up there. But yeah, you are going to argue. It's part of van life. It's what you do about it that determines, you know, how much fun you're going to have on the rest of your trip. And like Brooke says, be an adult about it. Just make a rule and just stick to it. Have a 10-second timeout. What you don't want to be doing is storming off, like, you know, in the middle of like nowhere in the Highlands and stuff, because, you know, it's not funny, is it? Because you could storm off, an hour later you might not come back, 2 hours later something might happen to you. You know, you could fall. It's just not worth it. If it's just you two that's out there, just be an adult and, you know, basically just
get on with it.
Just get on with it. You know what I mean? Right. We've counted down all the way from 25, even though I was kind of thinking maybe I should have counted from 1 to 25, but we've counted 25 down to 1.
Yeah, because I wasn't there for you to start the video.
Well, anyway, right, the number 1 essential van life tip is enjoy yourself. Yeah. Go out, make memories, you know, have lots of fun, just do it, don't stress about it, just go and enjoy yourself. It goes without saying. It's a lifestyle that is really, really... Oh, sorry, Thor. Oh, hello, Thor. You okay? Yeah, enjoy yourself. So, yeah, you enjoy yourself. Yeah? No, this is what we do, you know, like when we go camping and stuff, we go out, walks and everything, chill out, but, you know, but without a doubt, just enjoy yourself. That is what it's all about. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, you know, if you work it out, like 64 years of your life, you're busy doing things that you kind of like just have to be done, that you don't even think about. The rest of the time, just go out, enjoy yourself. Is that right? Enjoy yourself. Eh? Oh, thank you, Thorny. Oh, he just gave me a little kissy.
So guys, if you are new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button.
Press the subscribe button.
Give us a thumbs up.
If you've enjoyed these tips today and you want to see more videos like this, hit the like button. Just gives us an indication, you know, that, you know.
And if you have any tips, people, leave them in the comments below.
We'll have left loads of tips out. We're only giving like our tips and everything, you know, but put your comments about your tips, because what we can do then is anybody that's reading them, you know, they can like get other tips as well, actually, from you guys. So, anything to add before we finish?
See you in the next one.
Right. Like Brooke said, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already and you do watch our videos, please hit that subscribe button, because it really helps the channel out and it's free. So
do it.
Do it. You know you want to. Have you done it? Press it. Have you done it?
Good.
Excellent. Right, Thor, have you got anything to add? Oh, you're just sniffing about. Right, until the next video, guys.
Bye.
Bye for now.